All right, good morning, folks. It is 8:19 in the morning. There's Mom and Dad back there. Just dropped me off back at the big tree under which I was posted up a couple days ago. So we wound up obviously taking a 0 day yesterday in Jackson, just kind of hanging tight. Got some great dinner over at Roadhouse, I think. Roadhouse is actually a brewery. If you remember, I stayed with Kurt in Steamboat Springs, was kind enough to put me up at his condo in Steamboat Springs. Stayed with Kurt for a couple days. His niece actually owns Roadhouse Brewery, so she wasn't there when we were there yesterday, unfortunately, but still wanted to swing by and kind of support them and give them a look. Boy, Jackson's a busy town, man, for sure. Just totally full up of tourists. I'm not sure exactly what I was expecting, but I had heard of Jackson, Wyoming for sure. And it was cute. I don't really have anything against it, but it's busy and just total tourist town. Don't think it made the cut of places I'm super enthusiastic to come back to at some point down the road, but it's fine. I mean, I'm glad I'm visiting for sure. Yeah, I'm going the right way. All right, wanted to make sure. But yeah, I'll be back in Jackson tonight, back in Jackson tomorrow, back in Jackson the night after. So today and tomorrow again, slack packing, just about 25 miles each day to hike my way back to Jackson. The plan is, I think it's like 23 or something today, and then Mom and Dad are going to meet me 23 trail miles from where I am right here, over at Granite Hot Spring, which is pretty cool. So I didn't know that there would be a hot spring at any point during this trip for them, but they're going to run out to like Walmart or Target or something, just buy some cheap swimsuits and grab a couple towels from the hotel, and then grab my shorts, and at the end of the day today should have a little dip in the hippie dip over there at the free hot spring at Granite Creek, which would be cool. But yeah, I got 23 miles before I get there, so slack packing. All I got is 2 water bottles, water filter. I'll mention a couple chores I got done yesterday and then snap off. So I was busy yesterday for sure. My Thermarest sit pad, my little sit pad, butt pad thing, was pretty well deflated. I got it at the start of the AT last year, so it's got about 4,000 miles in it. And it was pretty well flattened out. So at the same time, my shoulder pad, my bolstered shoulder padding, had also pretty well flattened out since I installed it in Monson, Maine last year. So it probably had nearly 2,000 miles in it. And that was just like the cheap blue exercise mat foam. So what I did was I took my old Thermarest Z seat and replaced it with a new Thermarest Z seat. So now I have a brand new sit pad. And then I took the old Thermarest Z seat, which was pretty well flattened out, and replaced the shoulder pads, the bolstered shoulder padding that I have on my pack here. So that was kind of reduce, reuse, recycle. And frankly, the cheap blue exercise mat was going to be like $25. A new Thermarest Z seat was like $20. So I was able to avoid buying a new product, use what I already had, and save a few bucks. And that's pretty great. So I did that. I also finally dialed in exactly what I'm going to be doing through the Tetons and Yellowstone. And it's going to be, a 9-day jump, basically. Once me and my folks break out of Jackson on the 25th, they'll fly home and I'll hike out of Jackson. And I'll be hiking, I think, 3 nights from Jackson through the west side of the Grand Tetons to get just outside of Yellowstone National Park, camp there, and then wake up and enter Yellowstone basically at the furthest southwest possible point. I think Beckler Ranger Station is where I'll be entering, near Beckler Ranger Station, and then spend another 5 or 6 nights, I think, hiking through Yellowstone, and indeed diverging from the CDT for all but a couple miles. But I'll be hiking up to Old Faithful, and then north out of Old Faithful to go further north, basically, and then ride along what's called the Sky Rim Trail, and then exit Yellowstone, again at the far, this time northwest extremity, at the furthest northwest point in Yellowstone, and then hike to Big Sky from there. And after that, frankly, I have a couple ideas, but I haven't really dialed in much. I was able to call Yellowstone, bug up all the campsites. The rangers there are super helpful. Big shout out to the Yellowstone rangers. They've been absolutely a dream to work with. You know, I've been kind and respectful and gracious, and they've been nothing but super reciprocal in those approaches. So really, really big shout out to the Yellowstone rangers. They've been great. But yeah, it's going to be a 9-day jump to get from Jackson to Big Sky. I'm going to plan on a resupply at the Old Faithful general store, which will probably be a pretty paltry, lackluster, expensive, and insufficient resupply. But I'll carry, I think, 4 days of food out of Jackson to get to Old Faithful, and then 4 or 5 days of food out of Old Faithful to get to Big Sky, and then punt from there. I mean, we'll see where we go. I think there's Spanish Peaks just north of Old Faithful, just north of Big Sky, and then I'll also likely find my way by way of hitch or bus, hook or crook, from Big Sky to Bozeman for a couple nights just to chill, just to hang out in Bozeman. I've never seen that town either, and I've been curious about it. So there's a rough plan. Plan for right now: hike on, get to these hot springs in 23 miles, and meet back up with mom and dad, have another beverage, have another night in the bed. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, nice cool morning. I didn't give you the temperature because we just got out of the car. The thermometer in the car said 56 degrees, and now my thermometer says 61.2, so somewhere in there, 56 to 61. Really pleasant, but the sun's coming out now and it might warm up, so we'll get hiking, and I'll talk to you guys later. Ooh, cattle guard. Ooh, I hate these things. All right, talk to you later. Alright guys, it is a drop dead beautiful day. 12:31 p.m. and 78 degrees even. Nice gentle wind blowing, which is keeping me nice and cool. Intermittent cloud covers, the sun is out, the birds are singing. I'm in Grovant Wilderness, and about 12.8 miles into the day, almost exactly halfway. Just wanted to give a couple of shout outs of appreciation to just a few more people who've donated to the hike. I got Mark Poley, thank you so much. Andrew Connolly and Rebecca Laney, I'm not sure, I'm sorry about that, Rebecca. All those three people donated to the hike. Super generous. I got an atypical view for you. Typically they've been these huge sweeping views. Oh, excuse the wind noise. But check this out, man. The hike has been like this all day with these amazing wildflowers. And in this particular moment, we have this awesome punctuating mountain behind. So what an amazing view. The three of you guys, thank you so much for donating to the hike. It really means a lot. Everyone, thank you all the time for all of your comments and support. It's been a beautiful day. I really appreciate the encouragement on the channel. And thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and following along. We'll get back to it now. Been cruising, feeling good. We'll get back to it, find our way over to these hot springs. right, y'all, it's 4:51, 91.4 degrees. That's what my watch says, but I think it must have been in the sun. I don't think it's quite that hot. It's warm. I don't think it's quite that hot. Anyways, just made it over here to Granite Hot Springs. Looks like an awesome spot. I texted my folks that I should be here around 4:45. So 4:45 was 6 minutes ago. I think the parking lot's just a little bit up this sort of dirt road here. So I'm gonna see if I can't link up with them, see what they want to do. There's all sorts of signs around for like the river and the runoff from the hot springs that say no wading in pools. So I guess perhaps what I had heard from the dude at the REI regarding a potential hippie dip or free hot springs may not be the case, but it looks like the actual like facility is pretty nice, and I mean pretty nice, you know, not by resort standards for sure, but just a pool, you know, some chairs and stuff. It's like $8 per adult, $8 per adult, and that seems pretty reasonable considering it's by the Park Service and everything, so it's a good cause and everything. So I'll see if I can't link up with them, probably pop into these pools, and I may or may not check back, but we'll see. Howdy, how y'all doing?
All right, good.